So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, can we please stand for the pledge?
I pledge allegiance
To the flag
to
of
the
the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so congratulations, trustees. If I can have Mike Simone, trustee Mike Simone, repeat after me. I, Mike Simone, do solemnly swear. Unmute.
I, Mike Simone, do solemnly swear
That I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of board trustee
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of board trustee
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Yeah. Trustee Bendelulo, congratulations. If you can repeat after me. Make sure you're not on mute, okay? I, Bendelulo,
I, Ben DeLulo,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of board trustee according to the best of my ability.
I will faithfully discharge the duties of the board trustee of the Board of Trustees to the best of my ability.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Tanner McCracken. If you can repeat after me. I, Tanner McCracken,
I, Tanner McCracken,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of board trustee according to the best of my ability.
the duties of board trustee according to the best of my abilities.
Thank you, and congratulations
Thank
to
you.
you all.
Congratulations. Yay. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So are there any motions prior to beginning the reorg meeting?
Melody, I have a question. Is this when I would make my motion for?
This is when
Okay.
you would make your motion, Tanner.
That's my cue. Thank you. Thank you. I, Tanner McCracken, would like to motion a method in selecting a board president for the 2020-2021 school year as follows. Each nominee for president is given up to 5 minutes for an opening statement. The floor is then open for questioning from the board trustees not nominated, and the nominees are given up to 1 minute for their answers. And finally, nominees are given up to 5 minutes for closing statements. Once this process is complete, then a roll call vote can be called.
Do I have a second for that motion?
So moved.
That motion is now on the floor for discussion. After that discussion, I will take a vote.
So I would just like to comment on, Tanner, I read what you proposed, and I just wanted to say a few things. So I did read the proposed reorg motion as a reminder. All school districts follow our current process, which a board trustee nominates another trustee for the position of president and vice president. There's some concerns with the motion that you set forth. In bullet number 2, you say the floor is then open for questioning from the board trustees not nominated. The nominees are given up to 1 minute to answer. So currently, a board trustee is elected by the community, the president and vice president elected by the trustees. A nominated trustee can self-nominate to be president or vice president and therefore has a right to speak. So bullet number 2 is not allowing a nominated trustee to speak. So I feel a nominee is shut out of the process at this point. I also did some research about the roles of a board president, and per New York State School Board Association, some of the many roles that a board president has is they do conduct the board meetings and maintain order, but they hold no additional power, just added responsibilities. They bridge board and superintendent, they're a team builder and mediator, and they're also a voting member of the board. As the new board members do take board training, you will see that these are the things that are discussed from NISBA is our guidance in this. So that's my concern, is bullet number 2.
Madam Chairwoman, can I respond to that?
Yes,
Okay.
a discussion, open discussion.
Oh, open discussion. Wonderful. Okay, so the reasoning behind the second bullet was, so let's say that we have 2 nominees for president, that one nominee could not question another nominee, and then it's a back and forth between them. If your concern is that that's not fair because everyone has a voice on the board, then I'll gladly amend the motion for anyone to ask the nominees questions, even nominees. Not a problem with that. Although you point out that it's not added power, it's added responsibility. But that is exactly why I feel it's important that we kind of make this a more complex decision-making process, because this is the person that the community will engage with. They speak on behalf of the board, obviously with board approval, but they are the face, they are the voice, they preside. And although everything that they sign needs board approval, their name is being signed. So for that reasoning, I feel as if it's so much to ask for them to just explain why they want the position, especially for myself as a new member, but everyone else on the board. What have they done as board trustee? If they had a prior position, what have they done then? I think it's fair enough for them to explain why they want it before I personally cast a vote for anyone's name. And for the debate, or excuse me, for the questioning part, I think it's important for us to vet the candidates to say, who do we want? Because at the end of the day, when we pick our president, I want to make sure that this board discussed every possible, question that they may have for this potential candidate, and that once they're up there, we know that we all had the same set of facts. We all heard what they said to all of us, and we vote off of what they said. So that's my reason for the motion. But if the rest of the board trustees think the second bullet's questionable, I'll amend it, not a problem.
So that amendment would not be at this time. That would be an amendment for another meeting. For this particular meeting, I do need a vote on this particular motion. Have all the board members concluded their discussion, or is?
Can I ask one quick question? Can I ask a question?
I don't know who's speaking.
This is Dave.
Dave, yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Can I ask a quick question? So this again, and I see that you pared it down, which was one of my issues with your original amendment. To be honest with you, it was a little bit much. But I would ask: is this just for this particular vote, or is this going to something that would go into policy for now for the next series of votes after this? I'm just curious as to what we're doing here, because typically, right, we have a policy committee. The policy committee kind of vets this stuff, and then it comes forward. So I just curious what the thought here is of how this is going to work.
You want me to answer that? Because from my understanding, this motion is just for the selection of the board president for the 2020-2021 academic school year. However, this is something I'm definitely in favor for to be in our policy, but that is a different motion, a different time. And obviously, like you said, it has to go through the policy committee, but that's from my understanding.
Okay.
And can I make a point of inquiry, Madam Chairwoman? So because I didn't send out an amended motion previously to the meeting, is that why I can't make an amended motion right now?
No, the discussion for this particular vote is for this particular motion. So if you amend the motion, that would be just another motion. But this vote is on this particular motion at hand right now.
Okay, I have a quick follow-up. So if this motion fails, then right after I can make an amended motion.
So long as it's seconded, yes.
You got it. Thank you.
Are there any further discussions on this motion?
I only have one more question. It's to be a pain in the neck. We'll vet it. If we're gonna vet it, let's vet it. So the other thing about this, right? If we're going to go through this process, I would guess this would only be a process if this was a contested election, right? If it was a non-contested election, you wouldn't go through this. Am I understanding that correctly?
For me, this motion, I think it should apply to any situation. If we have one person nominated, I still would like to hear why they want it. And I also think the opportunity to question them before they are securely put in as our president, I think that is not a problem. So if it's one nominee, I
Okay.
still think we should vet them. Yep.
I hear you. Okay.
So are we voting on the, Melody, you sent something out to the group prior to the meeting. Are we voting on that revised motion?
Yeah, so the revised motion would contain that each nominee for president is given up to 5 minutes for an opening statement. The floor is then opened for questioning from the board trustees not nominated. The nominees are given up to 1 minute for answers. Finally, nominees are given up to 5 minutes for closing statements. And once the process is completed, then a roll call would be called.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So if I could just jump in, I just think this process would help us communicate better, help us select a president after having a good process to it. I think it adds a level of complexity, which I think is important. And I would like to hear, just to know, is it the second bullet that's a problem? If not, is this okay the way it is? Because Trustee Musafra, I do definitely respect that concern, but I think I'd like to know how the board's feeling on this motion in general, because I'm fine the way it is, but I'm also willing to amend so we're all comfortable, because I want your concerns to be addressed. So, it would help to know how everyone else is feeling.
Well, my particular feeling is I will do my homework before 5 minutes before a vote. I want to know about it, why they're, and I will have a good feel. My decision will not be based in 5 minutes of someone talking to me tonight, 5 minutes before the vote. I will do my homework before that. I will understand what their platforms are for. So to me, this is either helping me or hurt me. So whatever anybody else's decision is, but this is not something that I think is necessary for me. I'm not saying it's not necessary for the rest of the board.
I'd also say I reached out to all of my fellow trustees and I heard back from some. So I tried my best to find out, who's running, what they're running on. But I think for anyone, it just gives us the opportunity to hear something public from them, a promise that they'll make, what they'll bring to the presidency, as well as for the public watching. Although this is an internal election, I think it gives them a great opportunity to see the decision-making process and understand why the board picks who they pick. Because for the next year, when they tune in online or on their TV and they see who's chairing that meeting, they'll know why we picked them. And I think that's also very important.
So then if everybody's completed their discussions, unless you have anything else, I would like to take a vote. All those in favor of this motion, please raise your hand.
All right.
Okay. Keep your hand up.
Nope.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Just to be clear, this is the unamended version, right?
Yep, the way I said it and the way it was emailed.
And the way that I just repeated it. Do you want it repeated, Adam?
No, I just want to make sure that we're on the same page with what we're voting on. That's all.
Okay, so we have all those that are not in favor of it. Can I please see a hand?
And I just want to comment, I'm not in favor because no trustee should not allowed to speak at any time.
Okay, I have a 5-4 vote in favor of it.
Madam Chairwoman,
Yes,
can I make a motion to amend one part of the process to just say that any board trustee can question the nominees? Is that allowed?
what is it, Mike? I just see his hand going as you're speaking. Mike Magan.
Oh,
Unmute. Okay. No, I think, so what Tanner wanted to do now is he wanted to amend the first portion. He wanted to eliminate the second bullet point. So I think, so he's made a motion to amend the second bullet point of his motion.
the only thing I want to do is I want to make sure everyone's comfortable with this, and I'm happy that I had 4 others that supported me with this, but it seems that the concern from some of the trustees was that one part, and I definitely don't want there to be, I want everyone to be comfortable with it. So I'm just asking, can I just get rid of not nominated? So it's passed, the motion passed, amend it to just allow any board trustee to question the nominees if they choose to do so. Just so, like Trustee Musafer said, every board trustee is able to speak.
I thought that would be a no vote for the first one and vote on the corrected motion then.
Say that again?
My understanding would be if that was the case, we should have voted no on the first one and voted yes on the second one. So as your motion that you got approved, it carries the way it is.
That's right.
That is, however, if there is an amendment to that motion, then that amendment would stand, and I would still need a second to that amended motion.
Yeah. So all I'm saying is there was the support in the spirit of it. There was just one section that not everyone was for. I want to make sure everyone's for it. I want to make sure that, I'm just asking you, Melody, can I just motion to just make sure, just amend it, just one little part, and then we can move on?
So basically, the amendment would be that the floor is then open for questioning from the board trustees, all board trustees.
Yeah, or you can just get rid of not nominated, and it just says every nominee gets 1 minute to answer. Just get rid of that one part.
Okay, so board members, there's a motion for each nominee for president is given up to 5 minutes for an opening statement. The floor is then opened for questioning from all board trustees and are given up to 1 minute for answers. The nominees, are given up to 1 minute for answers. Finally, nominees are given up to 5 minutes for closing statements. Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
Second, yeah.
Okay. May I please have a show of hands for that motion to be approved? Okay, so that's unanimous. Okay, so then that motion is approved, and we'll start that procedure this evening. May I have any nominations for a board president?
I would like to nominate.
Okay.
At this time, I would like to nominate Mike Magan for school board president. Mike has been a board trustee for 4 years and was vice president the past school year and the year prior. Mike is passionate about education and is an alumni of the Mahopac schools. He is an advocate for educating our students while always considering our teachers and staff needs. When making decisions, he considers how students, staff, community, and taxpayers could be affected. He also makes himself available and keeps everyone informed. He exercises due diligence on behalf of the community, our students, staff members, and our board. is an active attendee of school sporting events and functions. He truly bleeds blue and gold. His enthusiasm is overwhelming and passion is so great. I thank you, fellow board members, for considering Mike for board president.
Are there any other nominees? Since there are no other nominees, we will proceed. Congratulations, Mike. Would you like to take the oath?
Doesn't it? Well, hold on, I'm missing something. Are we going to do the five?
I'm sorry?
Aren't we going to do the process that we just approved?
We're going to do the process that we just approved. My absolute apologies, Tanner. Yes.
Mike, where'd you go? There you are.
Oh, I'm right here. Hold on. Can you hear me?
So we're doing the process that we approved. My understanding is that we were having the nominations done, and then once that was completed, we would move into this process. Is that okay? Is that the correct understanding?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Okay.
there should be an opening statement by Mike at this point.
At this point, Mike.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, well, listen, well, everybody, thank you. I just wanted to say, what a privilege it's been serving on the school board for the last 4 years, starting my 5th year. I guess when I look back to my years, having graduated in '79, I look back at a very different time, and we're certainly into some very, very interesting times right now. So my leadership style is kind of like it's the old football coach in me. My great-grandfather was a coach at Fordham University at the turn of the century. My grandfather coached Pace University in Iona, and I was privileged to have the ability to play high school and college football and then coach at Westwood High School in New Jersey. So I don't think, team building is something that is very near and dear to me, and it's been embedded in my family for over 100 years. So, I think the biggest part to team building is instilling trust and respect, communication, accountability, a strong foundation. And, the nicer part is we have a strong foundation in place. The problem that you encounter that we are, that we've been working through is the communication standpoint. I think we've improved tremendously on it. The cable television, when I first got on the school board, was what you couldn't see anything. They'd put a football game up there, and you couldn't see the numbers, you couldn't see anything. So it was little things like that to make little changes, little subtle changes in order to be able to get to the public and do things. One of my platforms when I ran 4 years ago was I wanted to create a campus style for our students. Areas where they would be able to sit down and they'd be able to work off their Chromebook or, just sit and congregate and relax and have lunch. Have our facilities, state of the art, where when other schools come to our facilities, they're just like, wow, look at this place. Look at Mahopac. It's really amazing. So those are some of the things that we've been working on. We've made some strides. I know that we're doing a lot more. I remember Lucy's passion about getting the banners up on the signs, on the light posts. It's just like little things like that go such a long way. But communication, accountability, strong, team building, strong foundations, those are hallmarks of what make this a great community. So I'm very proud to be here. Proud to have served on the school board for 4 years. Proud to have been the vice president for 2 years, and I look forward to working with each and every one. And remember, this isn't it's not a sprint. Okay, it's a marathon, and we have a lot of challenges ahead of us. And I am very, very confident that this school board, and along with Ben and Tanner and Mike up for another 3-year stint, I have the utmost confidence that we will tackle these issues that come up against us. We'll tackle them head on. We'll be professional, but passionate. and really look forward to really taking this to the next level and beyond. And again, I thank everybody for their support. Very much appreciated. Okay. Fire away. Can you hear me?
Yes. Can we go into questioning now? We heard that. We definitely heard that speech. Don't worry.
Okay.
Can we question now, Melody?
Yes, it's time for questioning.
Okay. Wonderful. So Trustee Magan, thank you so much for that. My question would be, in your 2 years as vice president, what experience did you gain? If you want to talk about a certain situation, what in those 2 years did you experience that you think you can bring now to the presidency?
I think some of my memories, some of my nice memories were attending what Leslie did as Leslie was the former board president. What Leslie and I did was we alternated on and off for the PTO meetings, the monthly PTO meetings. I found those to be fascinating, because the nicer part there is that it really plugs you in to what's happening at each school. Some of the strengths, some of the weaknesses, some of the trends. So it was very nice to hear how, and that's an extremely passionate PTO that we have, by the way, I might add. But it was very nice to hear their perspective on things and where we were meeting our goals, where we were exceeding our goals, and where we were falling a little short. And I remember taking those meetings to heart and bringing those back to the board and talking about some of the things that that we could improve on in those areas. A lot of things worked on the website. The website is much improved from when Mr. DiCarlo took over 3 years ago. That was one of the bugaboos I think that we all had, was getting that website. So it was friendly and user friendly. And I think we can do better there as well. I do think that we can do better with that. But it's like anything else. It's a maturation process. The TV, the acoustics, all those things are much better than they've been. So so that was, but for me, that was it. And the other thing is, in a presidential position like this, you have to be a good listener too. And I think one of the things that I've learned over the 4 years, let alone the 2 years, was that there are times that you're just not going to, even though you think it's right, you just might not, you might not be able to do everything that you want to do like that. I can tell you that it's been an eye-opening experience. The last 2 years, I thought Madam President did a wonderful job. She put me in the loop on things on a I'm not going to say a daily basis, but maybe 2 or 3 times a week. We would touch base and we would talk about some of the things that were coming up, so there wasn't any blindsiding. And I will say the one thing is, and you'll hear me throughout the year with this, no surprises. Let's get everything out. No surprises, nothing last minute, nothing at the 11th hour. Let's get our ducks in a row and be professional. And I think that's one of the things that really took me the last 2 years, was just trying to be a good vice president, being supportive, being out in the community, representing the school board at functions, at the science fairs, at the sporting events, at the I was even helping line cars up at the recent graduation parade that we had last Friday over through town. That's just me. It's who I am. I enjoy doing stuff like that. It's not uncommon for me to leave a basketball game at the end and drive up to hockey to catch the second and third period for a hockey game. So I have tried to be a good representative of the school board. I take the trustee position and the vice president position very seriously, and I will certainly do that as president.
Thank you.
Were there other questions? So, Mike, should we consider that your closing statement, or would you like to have a closing statement?
I'll do a brief closing statement.
Okay.
Not like people don't know I don't like to express myself, but you know, in the school board, and I encourage everybody to do this. New York State School Board Association has their website. It's filled with information from what the school board role is and the school board presidential role is. Lucy was able to, and thank you again, Lucy, for nominating me. Lucy was able to bring up a few of those points, but you know, it's actually, you know, there's just like Lucy, there's just a few added responsibilities with contracts and things like that. Listen, at the end of the day, it's not about one person, it's about 9 people. It's about a community, and I'm looking forward to working with each and every one. You know, we're going to have great we're going to be you know, there might be a little challenge, but we're going to have committees with accountability and the type of reporting that we've come to respect from the committees. And we're just going to keep, you know, we're going to keep going with that. We're going to keep building because that's how you build a winner. And that's what we're doing from a coaching standpoint. That's what we're doing. Strong foundation, great people, accountability, communication. And we're gonna do great things. I know we are. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Since no other nominations were made, I would like to move for a roll call for a vote, please. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Okay, thank you. That's unanimous. Congratulations, President Magan.
Thank you all. Thank you all.
May I swear you in?
Yes, please.
Okay. Can you please repeat after me? I, Mike Magan,
I, Mike Magan,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of Board President
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of Board
of the Mahopac Board of Education according to the best of my ability.
of the Board of Education according to the best of my ability.
Thank you. Congratulations. I turn the meeting over to you.
Thank you very much. Well, listen, thank you all. It's an honor and a privilege to be serving with you. And what I'd like to do right now is I'd like to entertain a motion or entertain nominations for Vice President.
I would like to nominate Adam Savino. I think he'd make a fine vice president. He has his pulse on the school system, the teachers, especially the elementary level. And that would be my nomination.
Thank you, Ray. Do we have any other nominations? Okay, that's the case. So now what we'll do is now we'll go back to Melody. We'll go back to Adam gets an opportunity to make make a statement. Is that correct? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, Adam, would you like to make a statement here, please? Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for nominating me for vice president. I think number one is to support the president in his role, as well as the rest of the board. As Trustee McCracken brought out, in some ways, we are the voice or the face to the public. I grew up in this town. I moved away for a short time. I came back to this town to raise my family here. I have 2 children in the school district, so I am very involved in the schools. I have a good feel for what things are going on in the schools, and I'm also an active member in the community. So as a trustee and a voice for the community, I think I could bring that forth as a role into the role of vice president, and continue the forward progress that we've been working towards for the past several years.
Excellent. Thank you, Adam. Do we have any questions from the trustees for nominee Adam Savino?
I don't have a question. I just want to make a comment, if that's okay.
Yes, Lucy.
Okay. I just want to say, Adam, I've been working with you this past year, and I totally support your nomination. I feel you bring a lot of knowledge and passion to the board, and I look forward to you being our VP.
Thank you.
Okay.
Mr. President, I have a question.
Go right ahead.
Okay, awesome. Congratulations, Trustee Savino. My question would be, if the president is absent from the meeting, the vice president presides over the meeting. So do you have any experience being the presiding officer, maintaining Robert's rules in a board or legislative body session?
I do. I have been on the board of directors for the Mahopac Volunteer Fire Department for the past 3 years. We follow same rules. Previous to moving back to town here, I was in the Putnam Valley Fire Department, where we also had similar meetings, public meetings and such.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So I'd like to finish up with any closing thought.
I'll keep it quick, I promise. Although I don't have the vast experience of some of the board members, I do bring the passion and the desire and the energy. And I think we have a challenging year ahead of us. And I look forward to working with each and every one of the trustees, President Magan, as well as the administrators, to doing what's in the best interest for the safety and education for our students and our community. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much, Adam. Terrific job.
There's one thing I'd like to, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
go ahead,
Can
Go
I
ahead,
add
Ray.
something? One thing I really grateful and appreciate about this board, we have a lot of members with different strengths. What I would like to see when you set up the committees, please put the people that are strong in those venues on those committees. I think it'll go a long way for the school district and for everybody. I mean, this is one of the things I'm impressed with. There's a lot of different value to the members of this board, and I just want them in the right place. Thank you.
I totally agree. The diversity is in the school board is really amazing. So, okay. So, if there are any other questions, so Adam Savino, we'll take a vote. All in favor of Adam Savino for vice president? Please hand. Okay. Melody, see everybody? I can taking it all down.
I'm good. Thank you, Mike. It was
Okay,
unanimous.
Oh, unanimous? Okay. Thank
Yes.
you very much. Adam, congratulations, Mr. Vice President.
Congratulations.
Mr. President, this is Superintendent DiCarlo. If you wouldn't mind if a second, if that would be okay.
Sure.
So I just want to congratulate Mike and Adam on president and vice president. I look forward to working with you and at continuing the work that we've begun to do over the last 2.5 years. Just to Tanner's point, this Board of Education, took the courage to adopt a strategic plan that really drives all of what we do each and every day. It drives what we do with our resources. It drives what we do in recruiting and in our professional learning. I think Mike mentioned it before. We had no presence out there on social media and, what Mahopac was all about. I think reading the article this past week on Wednesday in the New York Times about Mahopac being a great community speaks to a lot, I think, of the work that this board has done, will continue to do. Our academic performance, if you were at the graduation this year in the schools that the kids are going to, being recognized as a recognition school in the state of New York. So we've done a lot. We have a lot more to do. We're never stopping. And I look forward to Mike and to Adam and the whole entire board continue to do the great work that we've begun to do during trying times. But I'm sure working all together, we'll be able to get through these times and continue to make Mahopac School District one of excellence. So congratulations again, Mike and Adam.
Thank you. Thank you, Superintendent DiCarlo. Much appreciated. Looking forward to it. Okay, so we have, what other business do we have on the agenda for tonight? Is that, so the reorg is complete? The trustee.
I have a point of inquiry. Doesn't Trustee Savino have to take the oath now, or does that not happen now?
I think that's, you're right. He's got to take the oath, Tanner. Thank you for that. See, all pumped up already. Melody, can you administer the oath to Adam Savino, please?
Yes, Trustee Savino, you ready?
I am.
I, Adam Savino,
I, Adam Savino,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of Vice President
the duties of Vice President
of the Mahopac Board of Education
of the Mahopac Board of Education
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Okay. Okay. So, Melody, what else do we have for this evening? We're pretty much set now. We have.
So we have the reorg consent agenda.
Okay.
And so you have all seen it, you have all looked at it. It's already been published. And if you can, if there aren't any questions or aren't any, tabling or anything like that, you can just move to motion to accept the consent agenda.
Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion. We accept the consent agenda as
read. So moved. Oh, sorry. Second, Larry Keane. Thank you, Larry. All in favor?
all right.
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Okay, so consent is done. All right. So I guess that are we done with the reorganization? I think we're pretty much set, correct?
We are, and now there was a reason to go into executive session to speak about a personnel matter. So with that, you would, if you can make a move to go into executive session.
Okay. Well, all right. So that means, so what we're going to do is, so we're going to go into executive. So we're going to leave public. I just want to make sure that that people watching on the television, and thank you again for tuning into us, that we're going to go into an executive session, and therefore we will be leaving you for right now. And thank you for your participation and your support to the Mahopac Central School District. I'd like to make a motion to close.
To go into executive.
Yeah, to go into executive.
So moved.
So moved.
Lucy, second.
Second.
Tanner, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, so prior to, let me just stop recording.